Welcome along to Complete Aviation Solutions, Deep Dive number 74. Today, we're going to take a closer look at what's been happening with Rex Airlines, specifically their future.
Yeah, our information really points towards a pretty significant government focus on making sure regional aviation services keep going, especially REX. So let's maybe unpack what the government's actually been saying and, more importantly, doing.
Yeah, absolutely. What's really stand out is the message from the returning transport minister. It seems ensuring Rex survives is, well, a top priority for her this term.
A top priority, right? Not just a passing mention then.
No, not at all. It's being described as part of a, quote, significant agenda for the next 3 years. So they're really doubling down on its importance.
That does sound like a strong commitment. And it's more than just words, isn't it? We keep seeing this thread in the info we have the government saying repeatedly that they might nationalize REX if another private buyer can't be found. That's a very assertive stance, yes. And look, if you think about the background, the fact the last budget actually had contingency plans for a government takeover of REX.
Ah, right. So they were already prepping for that possibility.
It certainly suggests they were,
Wow.
yes. Actively planning for it, perhaps, behind the scenes. It wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment idea.
Which tells you how seriously they're considering it. And we can't forget the money already put in, can we? Our sources mention $80 million in direct funding.
Exactly. $80 million just to keep the airline flying. That's quite a bit of cash.
A serious amount. And wasn't there more? Beyond just the direct funds?
Yes, there was also the move where the government bought $50 million worth of Rex's debt from a financier.
Oh, I remember that. Why do that? More control.
Well, it certainly gives them more influence, doesn't it?
Mm.
More leverage over what happens next, especially with the airline still in voluntary administration.
Sort of getting a seat at the table, maybe? Okay. But even with all this government focus, the private sale process, is that still happening?
Apparently so. According to the information we have, yes, a private sale is still being explored. It seems like they're keeping options open.
Multiple fronts then.
Exactly. And tied to that, the government has also committed up to $130 million in secured loans.
Another big number. What's that for specifically?
That's to keep REX operating through this extended voluntary administration period, which runs until June 30, 2025.
Okay, so bridging finance, essentially.
Pretty much. The stated aim is, and I'm quoting here loosely, to help maintain critical aviation services for regional and remote communities.
Underlines how vital they see these routes. Now, we've also seen Rex selling off some parts of the business recently.
We have. The sources point to the sale of Pel Air, their aeromedical arm, that went to Toll Aviation for about $47 million last October.
Okay, and wasn't there something about shares, too?
Yes, they sold their shares in the FIFO company National Jet Express, NJE, that went to a former executive chairman.
Right, and the simulators.
The simulator center, too, yes, purchased by Navinci Group.
So quite a bit of restructuring happening. What do you make of these sales? Streamlining.
It certainly looks like strategic restructuring. Could be to make the core airline more attractive to a buyer, maybe?
Yeah.
Or perhaps just slimming down to a more sustainable size, whatever the final ownership structure. It's all part of reshaping the airline.
Makes sense. Now, stepping back slightly, the transport minister also mentioned broader aviation reforms, things like the Sydney airport slots and bilateral air agreements.
Yes, that was mentioned. Changes to the slot system, securing more air agreements.
How does that connect to Rex, if at all? Or is that just wider industry stuff?
Well, it could be related. I mean, improving the overall health and competitiveness of the aviation sector ultimately helps all players, including regional ones like Rex, right?
Yeah.
If the whole system is more stable, maybe less prone to shocks, it fosters a better environment. So while the immediate focus is Rex, these wider reforms might be about the long-term sustainability of the whole sector, you see.
Okay, so it's potentially part of the bigger picture for ensuring regional services survive long term. So, summing up, it really feels like a picture of, well, very significant government intervention, focused squarely on keeping regional aviation going, with Rex right in the middle of it.
Absolutely. They seem determined to make sure Rex continues one way or another, whether that's a private sale eventually working out or the government stepping in more directly.
It really does drive home how crucial these air links are for connecting regional Australia, doesn't it?
It does, and the lengths the government seems prepared to go to preserve them.
Yeah. It definitely leaves you wondering, though, what does this level of ongoing government involvement really mean for regional air travel in the long run? Something to keep thinking about. Thanks for walking through that with us today.